Lena and her friends decided to escape the city and enjoy a weekend getaway at an old cabin by the lake. The cabin had a rustic charm, with creaky wooden floors and a fireplace that crackled with warmth. They spent the first day hiking, swimming, and reveling in nature's beauty. When the sun began to set, they all gathered on the porch for one last group photo, with Lena capturing the moment on her phone. She made sure everyone was in frame, smiling brightly as the shutter clicked. Later that night, as the group sat around the fire sharing stories and roasting marshmallows, Lena scrolled through the photos on her phone. That's when she noticed it. In the last photo she took, there was an extra figure standing just behind her friends. A pale, translucent figure of a man, dressed in old-fashioned clothing, pointing directly at her. Lena's heart raced as she zoomed in on the photo. It couldn't be. There was no one behind them when she took the picture. She showed the photo to her friends, expecting them to laugh it off as a trick of the light. Instead, their faces grew serious. "Who is that?" asked Mark, his voice tinged with fear. "I don't know," Lena whispered, her eyes not leaving the screen. Just then, she noticed something else. In the background, scrawled on the wall of the cabin were the words, "Help me." Her friends hadn't noticed it yet, but Lena's mind was already racing with questions. "Do you see that?" she asked, her voice trembling. "See what?" asked Sarah, leaning in. Lena pointed at the writing on the wall. "What in the world?" Sarah gasped. The group huddled closer, their excitement from earlier replaced by a growing sense of unease. "Did someone play a prank on us?" suggested John, trying to stay rational. "No one else is here," replied Lena, shaking her head. The cabin was miles away from the nearest town, isolated in the woods. They decided to investigate. Armed with flashlights, they cautiously approached the wall where the words had appeared in the photo. There was nothing there, not a single mark. They were baffled and scared. Over the next few days, strange occurrences continued. They would hear whispers in the night, see fleeting shadows from the corner of their eyes, and find objects inexplicably moved. But the most disturbing was when Lena saw the man again, in a reflection in the lake, still pointing at her. She knew then that this was no ordinary haunting. Determined to uncover the truth, Lena began researching the history of the cabin. She discovered that it once belonged to a man who mysteriously disappeared. His last known words, scribbled in his journal, were a plea for help. With this knowledge, Lena and her friends set up a plan to communicate with the spirit. Using an old Ouija board they found in the attic, they gathered around and asked the ghost what it wanted. The planchette moved slowly but deliberately, spelling out, "Find bones." Realizing they needed to uncover his remains to give him peace, they searched the property.